Thank you. Yeah. Can I introduce everybody? This is Sian, Dana, Mike DeLuca, Kevin Spacey, Aaron Sorkin.
Scott, congratulations over here on the right.
Where are you?
Scott.
Oh, sorry. Hey, Scott.
Congratulations to
Thank
all
you.
of you. And I just wonder if you can talk about the idea of perceptions about this movie. I remember the first trailer coming out and people around me snickering, what's it going to be about, a server crashing or something like that. And now, more recently, there were people that said older people are not going to get this movie in the way that younger people do. And I've heard there are a few older people in the HFPA, and they obviously got
Sure.
it. So, what is it about this movie that has allowed it to keep beating the odds?
I think it's proven to run in a funny way along generational lines. Older people who have been through the experience of starting something and learning that your fantasy of success isn't exactly what success actually feels like, relate to it as a kind of cautionary tale. And younger people look at Mark Zuckerberg as a complete rock star, and they think it's a kind of triumph of innovation and about a guy who fights very hard for what he believes in and mows down the opposition, and they agree with what he does. They think everything he does is entirely justified. But it's worked around the world in every territory it's been in. It crossed $200 million of gross worldwide this weekend. So you can't really say there isn't a place where it hasn't really happened.
Scott,
Yeah.
Mary,
Hey, Mary.
hi.
Jade.
How much has it changed the perception of the film that Mark Zuckerberg has really gone after changing the perception of himself? So, has it made it easier for people to understand the film or to pick sides, or has it affected you guys that he's just so openly trying to change his image?
Well,
You've done a good job.
I mean, I can only speak to it in relationship to our relationship with Facebook, which started out as sort of cordial adversaries and has become, by the end of this process, I think, really good. We're all, I think at this point, very good friends. Amy Pascal had a party last night for all their movies, and Sheryl Sandberg, who's the COO of Facebook, was at the party. I think they feel really good about it. I think they feel that it's been a great thing for the company, and it's introduced Facebook into certain territories where there wasn't Facebook before, including this weekend, Japan, where we have more people saw the movie this weekend in Japan than have Facebook in Japan. So they're very grateful for that. And they've also, I think, they've relaxed a lot about what they felt about it. And I think, I mean, look, it's hard to think about what it would be like to be 26 years old and have a movie made about the things you did when you were 19. And I think Mark has been an incredibly gracious protagonist and has allowed us to use his life as fodder for making a drama. It's not a biography. It's a metaphoric movie. It uses him as a vessel through which to tell a story. It's not meant to be a documentary. And I think his initial hesitation about it has given way to real, genuine understanding of what it is we were doing.
Congratulations on your award. If there was one thing you wanted, there's so many messages in this film. If there was one thing you wanted young people or audiences in general to walk away with after seeing this film, what would that be?
Build something. I think build something, start your own thing, do the thing you want to do, fight for it. Somebody else speak.
Have love in your life and not keep yourself isolated. And along with building something, recognize that, I think our film trades in the human constants of friendship and love and acceptance and freedom from loneliness. And I think Aaron, beautifully brought all that out in his screenplay and David in the film. And I think that message is something that we'd love for the film to kind of communicate as well.
Aaron, I have a question in the back for Aaron. You earlier shared a review of sorts of Sarah Palin's cable show, and I was wondering if you had any thoughts on her statement last week in the wake of the Phoenix shootings.
I'll be honest, when it comes to Tucson, spoke about my daughter on stage earlier. She's the same age as Christina Green, a little girl who was killed. And when I think about Tucson, I can't get past the unspeakable grief and pain that that her parents must be feeling. So I'm really not thinking about Mrs. Palin at all.
Just a question about your screenplay. The dialogue's amazing, but what I notice about it is how seldom you see people at keyboards or doing computer stuff. What were the hurdles you had to get over to turn this into the screenplay you created?
I think that's probably a question better posed to David, who brought all that to life. And again, as I said on stage, he, along with Kirk and Angus, two great editors, were able to take these scenes of typing and coding and make them into thrillers and make it thrilling. It was really David's hurdle to get over, how he was going to shoot that. I think it was probably helpful that I'm not a computer person. I'm not fascinated by that kind of thing. I knew that there were going to be moments of drama that were going to take place on computer screens in the movie, and I knew I was going to have to make it work on the page. But neither David nor any of the producers behind me or the studio ever balked at that.
We're going to have 2 more questions.
In the back here, for Mr. Spacey, if I could. There's a lot of talk and attention been given to the fact that this is a really great story, doesn't have the sort of action sequences, things like that movies often have that draw an audience. Can you talk about how, as an actor, it's been important for you with this project to attach yourself to something that really upholds the art of storytelling, and how maybe that is going to continue to, I don't know, maybe push back against the more cheap thrills in movie making?
Hey, cheap thrills are fun. Look, there's only one reason I'm standing here. And that's because 8 years ago, I made a decision to go to London and start a theater company. And I left my film company, Trigger Street, in the hands of this remarkable, brilliant young producer named Dana Brunetti. And Dana first brought me this project because of our relationship with Ben Mesrick. I think that what we all recognized when we realized that this was, because I think the initial response was, well, what's a movie about Facebook? What would that be like? When we realized it had, in fact, all the hallmarks of what makes great drama, which is friendship and betrayal and power and money and the idea of something that can change our world, I believed it was an important film. That Aaron took this idea and Ben Mesrick's book proposal and turned it into such a remarkable story about human relationships that Sony Pictures and Amy Pascal and all the executives there decided, probably with a little bit of trepidation, because it's not the kind of film that they would normally make. I look back at the great films of the 70s, when you've got Hal Ashby and Robert Altman and Mike Nichols making incredible films that are about our time and yet are timeless. And I hope that the success of this film, the work of all of these producers that are here, Aaron's work, David's work, a remarkable supportive system in Sony, will encourage other studios, that these films have value, that you should take some of the profits you make in the big tentpole movies and do these kind of movies. Don't leave it to the independent world, because it's so hard for independent films to get the kind of release that a film like this gets. So I hope that it encourages other studios. I hope it encourages other executives, that these kind of movies about relationships, and as Aaron has often said, it's just a lot of people in rooms talking, at the end of the day, can do what this movie has done. So I'm very proud to be part of it.
Well, where is David right now?
What?
Where is David? Mr. Fincher, where's Mr. Fincher?
I think he ran in terror at coming into this room.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.